Good afternoon, everybody. At the moment, it's just me. My ear maggot is not here at the moment, and Andy's away. So bear with us. We will give you a broadcast. Hopefully, it will be worthwhile. Anyway, I can start on my own. The normal weather forecast. Well, it says it's sunny, but it's breaking through down here in West Sussex, over in the UK. It's not brilliant. It's dry. Job done. What are we doing today? I rough turned this about 5 years ago, and it got tossed in the back of the shed. Wasn't a problem. Just forgot about it. It's hawthorn, I believe. As far as I can remember, it's hawthorn. It's got no names on it. It was pretty roughly turned. It's about an inch thick wall throughout. There are a few wormholes. I don't think the camera will pick it up. Oh, yeah, there's one just there. But hey ho, it's an old bit of wood, and it's the process. And there's also some wormholes just round here, right on the bark. Now the bark is a bit loose in places. It's a bit missing as well. I'm not worried about that. I'm just going to show you the process I go through from the rough turning. It's dried, it's moved a bit, it's not too bad, it's shrunk on the end, one end more than the other. It's only when you spin it that you find the issues. The biggest issue is the chucking point has gone over, it's squeezed in on the side, so that's got to be made true. The bottom is twisted in itself from one corner to the other, so it's a bit of a funny one, but we get there. So welcome to you all. There's too many in the chat and I haven't got the other facilities to go back, but I see Linnykins is in. Hi kiddo. Rob CP's just turned up, so let me change cameras. We go on to that one. Come on. That's it. So it worked just now. What have I got? I've got a sacrificial piece that I've turned a dome on the top to sort of fit the bowl, but it is only sort of. Let me just kill that picture. That's it. I do happen to have a center marked, and I will be using a cone drive, but the revolving center for the cone drive in an extended 2 Morse taper shaft. So that gets me 4 inches further away from the tailstock. That's the only reason I use it. And the only additional piece is, where are we? There. This is an inch thick disc of closed cell material, which I'm going to hold over the back, slide up the tailstock to the already predetermined mark that I've got. Give it a quick wiggle to loosen it off. to seat it. It doesn't look too bad. So, safety glasses on. So we're going to turn the chuck-in point first. I need to bring the tool rest up so that it is on center, because this will be, I'm missing that, just missing the banjo. So we're all locked down. We're ready to go. Let's get a little bit of speed in. No, I'm not. Move the banjo. Come round the opposite way. So resetting it at just below center, locking it all off. Oh, we're not knocking now, that's a bonus. Right, let's face off the bottom first. So, 1/4 inch bowl gouge. Just going to take a light pass. Turn the extractor on. So bevel rubbing as much as you can on hit and miss turning. Handle well down, creeping up onto the base. And the closer it gets to true, the longer the shavings are that come off. Stop and have a look at that, just to see what we've got. And we're cutting there. Can you see that very well? No, let's slide the camera down a fraction, which I can do. How's that, guys? So it's cut in there, and it's cutting just across there. This bit is still floating, the same as that piece is. So we're getting there. See if I can get a little bit more speed into it. Does make it easier. That sounds better. Right. That is a full cut all the way around now. Might not be too pretty, but quick pull cut across the bottom just to clean it up a fraction. Right, here it's hit and miss. I've got a reasonable dish on that, so I can afford to take a little bit off this outside edge. Going now to a shear cut rather than a push cut, so the wood's coming down onto the left hand wing. Should get a better finish than a pull cut across there. So, moment of truth. Looks pretty good to me. So I'm just going to mark the start of the side, which I think wants to be about there. Might have to take it in a fraction in a bit. But, we should have plenty to play with. There's an inch in the wall there. Right. I can see the mortise where it should be. With the trusty mortise reshaping scraper, which is the exact profile and angle of the sea jaws. I can lightly scrape that to a decent fit. Now you can see the beauty of using the extended Morse taper. I can get closer to the wood and parallel to the wood, and the tailstock is not specifically in the way. So I see I've got a couple more. Michael and Christine, I think. Nick Castle. Hi guys. Bear with me, it's me at the moment. I had confirmation that I would have a worm, but for some unknown reason, he hasn't got out of bed yet. Andy's away in Cornwall, so he's not likely to get much of a signal down there. So we'll struggle through, we'll get there. I'm not worried, it just means that I won't be able to see the questions as quick as they come up. Quite happy with that. You can see the change from base to wall. So I can now adjust the tool rest so that I can come up this wall. And I really want to work from the bottom up to give me a fibre supported cut. Sorry about the moving camera. It's there, good. Right. Now I'm going on to a bigger chisel. I'll go my favourite, one of the bigger ones. I can use more of the wing. I can pick up the cut easier. It's a shear cut onto it, onto the side wing. I think you can see the way the shavings are peeling off. That's not overpowering, no. Now the handle is well down it's over 45 degrees onto the side wing, and you can see the shavings that are coming off. It's not that aggressive on the tool, and it's certainly not so aggressive on the wood, considering this is only held between a sponge pad and the revolving centre. So if I was to go in square, it would be bang, 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 possibly knock it out of true. So this is an ideal cut. Not sure, well, let's try a different camera. I have two set up. Can't see me. Go back to the other one. Come on, camera. Right, guys, can you hear me? I am back. For some unknown reason, the camera, changing the camera threw me out. So, can you all hear me? Can someone put a comment in the post? Can you hear me? I've got a thumbs up from Chris, so I'm guessing that you can hear me and see me. Right. I'll pull this one along a fraction just to give you a better view. Right, you're right on top of the cut there. Good, sound is fine, can hear you, good. Hopefully you can see me as well now. Yeah, don't know why that decided to play up, but this is live, it just proves the point. Anything can happen. Right. As I was saying, a shear cut handles well down, well past 45 degrees. and it's starting to balance up quite well. Quick change of the tool rest, push it in a bit tighter because the knuckle gets in the way. So it's a right pain, and it's such a big knuckle on this one that I can't get the tool down there where I want it to be. But we're pretty well through there, which is good. Give it a quick tweak just to make sure it's not moving. No. Hopefully get a little bit more speed into it now. That's somewhere about 800. Hello, Martin. I see you've just popped in. Robert Dolman. Hello. Copperal, hi. Not going to be my normal live because I don't have an earworm today. I messaged Brian last night and he said yes, he could do it. But, he hasn't turned up as yet. So we will struggle through. Showing you the process of returning a winged bowl. There's quite a bit of the bark flying off, which I expected it would happen. For those that missed the intro, this is a piece of hawthorn, I believe, that I rough turned about 5, maybe 6 years ago. I didn't date it. I just threw it into the back of the shed and it got buried. I left it at about an inch wall. And it's moved a bit. It's still, I think, salvageable. There has been a little attack with some rogue woodworms. Oh, there's a lot more woodworm than I thought there was. That is one big hole. that is another big hole. Okay, well that solves that problem. I shan't polish it up. Another one there. I shan't finish it, but I will go through the process of showing you how I would finish it. And me thinking there's just a few wormholes on the bark here. Just about see, no you can't, but there is a few wormholes on the very sapwood there, but all of a sudden there's a hell of a lot of wormholes. So, hey ho. But this is the way I would finish this bowl, or any bowl like this that I've rough turned, set aside to dry. There's a little bit with one wing, so nearly at the edge of that wing, so it's not quite true, but it's pretty good. So any questions you've got, guys, stick them in. If I miss them the first time round, put them in again. So, like I say, this is only showing you how I would attack a second turning of a piece of wood. And it's obvious now that it should have been attacked probably 3 years ago. But it was hiding too deep in the wood store. Would you consider cutting down the rim to get rid of the wormholes? That would leave me a saucer, Chris. It's quite deep. But no, let's keep it as it is. Let's keep it as it is. You can. I didn't expect it would say salvage it anyway, but just going through the process so that if you guys decide this is something you can do, you will have seen how someone else attacked it first rather than jumping in at the deep end. Huh.
Keith, how are you? Just made it at last.
Don't get on at him. He's just woken up. Hello, Brian.
Hi, mate. How you doing? I've had trouble getting my computer kicked into action.
This one kicked out just now, so don't worry about it. It's just a practice piece. It's a winged bowl.
Oh, well,
I've
nice
got
winged bowl.
no idea of who's in the chat particularly.
We'll find out now for you, mate. Find out now. Just give me a second.
And take it easy on Brian. We know he's late, but he's had a lay-in.
Let me just find you on here first.
Yeah. Hello, Ben. Jay's cabin.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm just
Welcome to the living world.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the chat. Oh, look, there's loads of people in here. Oh, goodness me.
Yeah, there's 29 of them in there.
Guys? Just trying to open your page on YouTube now, and we'll get that sorted out.
Hi, Robert Hodge.
There we go. Turning a wing bowl
beaver of yours.
Let me just pop out that chat. So let me just tell you who's in first of all. So I've got you here. So Ben Jamin's here, Chris Dodds, Chris the Spinning Wood Dodger, Copper Wood Turning, David Nickel, Flicks Wood Turning and Timber Creations. Hi Flicks.
Hi Flicks, missed you, sorry.
Robert from Hodgepodge, Jay's Cabin, Lawrence Bajia, Martin at Woody's Creations, our very good friend Mr. Nick Castle, Rob, CP the Wood Turner, Robert Dolman, our good friend Sidley61 is in.
Hello Sidley, I missed you as well, sorry.
Dave Ellis, and the Linnykins is here. So you have 28 minutes, 28 watching, Keith.
Yep.
Let me just pop out that chat.
Right. That's feeling quite good. Let's have a stop and a nosy and see what it looks like. It's pretty good down the bottom. Nice. Well, the worms right down to there, so that only leaves me nothing at the bottom. So no, it won't be salvaged, but it will be rough turn to a sort of finish. I'm not going to waste time sanding it, not with all that dust in there.
What kind of wood? What kind of wood is it, Keith?
I believe it's hawthorn. It's a bit I processed some time ago into a rough shape. Tossed it in the back of the shed and forgot about it.
I've just had my knuckles wrapped by Robbo Robertson. Says, "Don't the Aussies count then?" Laughing out loud. Yeah, you do, Robbo, but if you hadn't made a comment, I read it off the participants list. So there may be some others, and we'll see who else is here. Welcome, Robbo.
Robbo's been here some time. Even I spoke to him earlier.
Yeah, he obviously hasn't made two. See, to be on the participants channel or the participants list, you need to have made 2 comments.
Ah, is that what it is? All
Yep.
right. Just going over to a small scraper, just as negative rake, just to go around there. I think it'd be easier.
Your picture is very close up. Can we zoom out a wee bit? You think?
No, not without unscrewing the rig. But it's more seeing the tool control and the tool today. Well, that was sharp, but it doesn't feel like it's sharp. Let's use it in reverse. That's better.
Cool.
If all else fails, turn it over.
Ben Jammer is asking, is that an extension in your tailstock, Keith?
Yes, if you were to start with, Ben, it's a 4-inch Morse taper extension, just so that I can get my Morse taper cutting tool in at a more level, and I'm not stuck with the hand wheel on the end then. So it's quite a worthwhile investment. I believe RDG Tools I bought it from a good few many years ago. It doesn't come out that often, but it is a well worthwhile piece of kit.
Yeah, so Robbo says he should be honoured. He absolutely should be honoured, of course, that he's allowed to join us.
Anyone's allowed to join me.
All the way from Australia.
Yeah.
And Chris Dodds as well.
I can't hold it against you that you're in Australia, Robbo and Chris.
It could easily be some of our relations from the distant past, I'm sure. May have been transported there, apparently.
I've got a good friend that moved over there 30 odd years ago. Don't see him or don't speak to him very often. But, a couple that lodged with me after they sold their house before they caught the big bird in the sky and went over and joined you down under.
It's a beautiful country, I have to say.
So I'm led to believe.
Yeah, I've been I had a little exchange visit there when I was in military service.
Uh-huh.
I went to a place called
Right.
Townsville, so that was interesting.
So now we can see what it looks like. Well, there's a little bit of tear out, but I expected that using a scraper on this exceptionally dry wood. I'll see if I can get those little rings out there. But, like I say, it's more an exercise. This is how I would do it for you guys that haven't done it or are thinking about doing it and then thinking, how the hell does that work? It's a bit like your 7-dish bowl, Brian, which I saw.
Yeah. That was an interesting challenge.
Yeah.
Fairly straightforward once you get your head around the layout on the back. It's fairly straightforward thing to do.
Yeah. So the only thing different I would have done, this is purely me, not saying that you did it wrong or you didn't do it right or whatever, but I would have done opposing ones. I would have done 1 and 3 bowls, and then done 2 and 4, and then the remaining 2. It would just, I believe, keep a little bit more balance to the item, so you could possibly got a little bit of speed out of it, because you took it all off one side first.
That's true, of course. Yeah,
that would be my only comment. But hats off to you, mate.
It worked. I got enough speed out of it that I could turn it easily enough. It wasn't too hard to turn.
So it looked like it was quite a reasonable piece of wood as well for that.
It was. It was a good piece of wood. I made sure I had a good piece of wood before I started.
Yeah.
Didn't want in with any lumps, bumps, or cracks or anything in it. So.
Right. I've still got a bit to just hit here.
But David Nichols made a comment there. He says, "Is it true that everything in Australia can kill you?" And Chris Dodd says, "Yeah, only if you upset it."
Bit like UK then.
A bit so, yeah.
Yeah. Now, believe it or not, those shavings are almost holding together because they're that thin. Yeah, nearly there on this bit. Although it looks like I'm scraping a lot off, they're not even paper thickness.
See-through shavings.
Yes, exactly. And dusty.
Yep. No, we can see the dust coming off there, yeah.
I've got the extractor running and the wall fan, so most of it's being pulled out. That's better. I'm not gonna. There's a little bit there. I'm not going to waste any more time on that. I'm going to turn it round and attack the inside. So what was holding it? There was a pre-turned pad of wood.
Yep.
A foam pad of something, of foam.
It's quite dense foam as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's close density foam. So that was just squeezed in, took up the shape of the bowl. This was a rubbishy old bit of wood, and the mortise is a bit tight. So you can see why I didn't want to waste time turning it. As a big knot hole, dead knot hole,
yeah.
and there's screw holes in it as well. So that's the best place for that, is sacrificial base.
Yep.
So,
Made use of it, at least.
yeah. Sure.
Rather than just jug it out.
A bit mean on that mortise. Too mean.
Oh dear.
It's about a mil short.
Oh, that's the second time in 2 days that's happened.
Yeah. I don't think I can squeeze these up anymore. No.
Nope.
And it's pretty tight on this as well, but it goes on. Okay, we'll remount it then. And return it. Where did I put the foam pad? Up there.
It's just the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, the beauty is I've still got a chuck-in point there, or the location point for the tail stock. So put it on, wiggle it around a bit, lock it up. I need to come up to just above halfway, just above center height. And this is all for about 1 mil.
Yeah.
Hey ho, hey ho. If it don't fit, it don't fit. So now you late guys can see how, well, it's got a little bit of shake on it, but that's not bad. I can just go in there, and I can also keep the tool pretty level.
Yeah, good idea, that extension.
And I would now sand this up if I was going to salvage it and keep it and finish it, but that ain't happening. Not on this piece now. I ain't wasting time oiling wormholes.
No.
Let's see if she fits now. Better. Taken a good 1 mil off. So, yeah.
All right now. Good job.
It's gone in, but it didn't go in as well as I was hoping. It spins. It holds.
It spins and stays on. That's the important thing.
Yeah. So now I can bring the headstock round a bit. Get rid of the elbow stabby thing. There's the Morse taper adapter extension, and it extends it that amount, which is about 4 inches. Really useful bit of kit. You don't use it every day, but it's there for when you want it.
When you do need it.
Yep. Yeah, somewhere around there. Now I'm going to do my favourite, whack it in reverse because I can, and make life easier for turning for me. It's gone on with a bit of a wobble. Freshly sharpened Don't want that one. Want that one. Freshly sharpened 3/4 bowl gouge. Rub the bevel, or get the bevel to knock. Bring it round. There's the cut.
Yeah, Rob will pose the question when you were trying to fit that back on there. He says, "Is it safe for work?" And it obviously is. So we're good to go.
We're good to go. Yep, it's not quite as true as I would have hoped it would have been, but it's true enough. I don't know what. Can you guys see all right on that? Yeah, just about.
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
Yeah. Or I can go to 1, 2, 3, 4. That one.
That might be a better view just for a minute or two. Let's try it. There we go. That's better.
Yeah, I can bring that one down.
That's a bit better.
Don't get your arm too close to it.
Yeah. That would be my issue if I was turning in reverse. I'd have to watch where my elbow was.
Well, it's not running fast. But the beauty is I can actually see what I'm doing without leaning over the lathe. And the problem I have is a bad back. So as long as I can, or the longer I can stand upright, the far better I am.
Yeah, it makes a difference for us old guys. If we can keep the back kind of straight, it always helps.
That's just about maximum stretch on the tool. But I can't put a longer one in because I can't get it round the bend. Let's see what we've got. Might be able to swing it out a bit more to me. It's not cutting too bad, but can you?
Oh yeah.
You can see the wormhole there.
Jeez.
Yeah, there's worm there. This is all worm, which is why it's cutting quite well. So
this is not
going through. Yeah, it's going through the process of showing you how to do it.
Yeah. Is this was this piece stored inside or outside?
It was in the woodshed, right at the back, underneath a load of 4-inch saw pipe. So it was tossed in there. It was okay. Just as luck would have it, it's holding together reasonably well. See what we can get. See if we can get one more reasonably good flowing cut. Now, cutting as I am now on through the wings, you don't press against the bevel. Just let the bevel float on the wood. Let the weight of the tool do the cutting. All I'm doing is anchoring it down with my left hand, which could be my right hand, depending how you're turning it. And I'm just presenting the cutting edge to where I want it to be. And you can see the shavings coming off. They're not fat, heavy ones, they're thin ones.
Nice, light shaving.
The tool's doing the work. I'm not. I'm just driving it. Something just there that's making it bounce.
I had some hawthorn that I cut down myself and processed it, but it split like the devil anyway.
Yep. Yep. That is the biggest issue with it.
Yeah.
Gets rid of some of this. I'm having trouble because I brought the headstock up a bit further than what I normally do. So I can't get round easy.
So, Ben Gentleman's asking you a question here, Keith.
Yes,
do
go on.
you have any suggestions for the tailstock that doesn't seem to clamp on the bed as well as it used to? And the clamping area underneath is clean and free from lubrication.
What lathe is it, Ben?
So I'll get back to us on that.
Right. I think you said that before. It's a Fox lathe.
Yeah, Fox lathe. I've never heard of that.
Yeah. I believe Fox and Jet are about the same. Yeah. See, I've not levelled it up true, but that's my fault. There's about 2 mil there, and there's 8 mil there.
All
but
right.
the principle of the thing is the same, and there's absolutely sod all there because that's a
wormhole.
it's a wormhole joined up with another wormhole. So that's turned all the way through. It's quite a reasonable shape. You'll have to believe me for what we've got.
So did you initially did you turn that wet and then put it away then? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Initially, I turned it wet. Let's kill this. I can hear you a bit easier then. Yeah. Oh, that mortise was terrible. Looking at it now, it didn't realign quite as it should do. But
you got it.
Which one we on? We're on that one.
You're on that one, is right? Yep. It's very bleached out, that camera.
Yeah, I just killed that light. Let me come over.
So Ben has said it's a Fox F46 42-inch super lathe.
Yeah, I think I know what that is. Let me bear with me a minute, Ben. Let's go to
Rob has put a suggestion and he says adjust the nut.
the nut that's driving it.
That could be
Right,
the case. I know it's Ben. This is Ben we're talking about, of course.
no comment. Right, let's go across to the me cam. Take my glasses off. Don't need them on now. Oh God, why does that keep popping up? Right. Not a brilliant demo.
Actually, quite a big piece of wood, that actually, for Hawthorne.
14 by 8,
Yeah.
just on half of the tree. So that would be the process that I would use, but I would sand the outside before I turned it round to turn the inside, to turn a bowl out of a pre-turned bowl. Whose dog's barking in the background? Yours?
That's mine. Yeah. Somebody just come to my front door.
Right.
You're okay. Michelle's
I'm
answering the
okay.
door.
I'm safe, right?
Yeah, you're okay.
That's another one that was in the same pile, so I imagine there's going to be the same sort of woodworm in it, but I can't see any in that from the top. But I could only see, yes, I can. There's one or two holes. That one I could only see about 5, but that's what I rough turned to start with. Put it away, and we've returned it today after finding it in the back of the shed.
Tell me this, Keith. Had you forgotten it was there and just stumbled upon it?
Yep. It was only that I was chucking out a load of plumbing stuff because I've retired now that I got into the. Oh dear. Well, I'm blowed. I'll try that. So, how to return a winged bowl, banana bowl, call them what you will, but not the best demo because of the wood, but the principle is going to be the same regardless of the shape and the condition of the wood. Looks like Mark's in as well. Hello, Mark.
Afternoon, Mark.
So
I don't know what's going on.
That's how I would. Yeah, that's how I would do it, guys. And there'd be a fair issue Yorkshire grit in the wings.
I would say
you could Yorkshire grit half of the depth quite easily, conventional style, both inside and out. But to do the wings, what I was going to use and what I've used before is a drill with a 3-inch pad on the end, and I have some car pads that they use for polishing. You get 10, I think it is, or 20 off of eBay. Different grades of foam, different densities for different materials, but I find this soft one's quite good for Yorkshire grit. Yorkshire grit it up, take it down with the pad, variable speed, so you can control it. You can do it static, and it's the safest, really the only way of doing it to do the complete job. So that was going to be the way I'd finished it, and then hand sand it a bit more if necessary before on the base. But basically that's it. Now, going back to Ben, you got a Fox. I believe it's an eccentric bar that you've got the locking handle on. So as you turn the handle, it turns an eccentric cam bar.
Cam lock.
That sits over a hole that pulls it down. As you lift it, it pulls it down. The ones I've seen have got quite scored on the eccentric bar. I think is either a grub screw or a circlip or a split pin on the end. Take that out, pull it all apart, bit of emery cloth on it, and tidy it up. You might need to just do exactly the same with the hole in the bottom of the bar, so that you can clean that up with a bit of emery cloth as well, or a file, because it's possible that they both got rough. And it was the fastener underneath. Well, you can adjust the fastener. That shouldn't make any difference. It'll only stop it from sliding, Chris, if you've got it too tight. It's much the same as I've got on here. It works on an eccentric cam. It's the easiest way of locking them. I think nearly every lathe has got some sort of eccentric cam. Maybe not the one way. I think the one way on the tool post, it's got a slit down it and a bolt goes through, so you just pull it up and pinch it on the slit so that the slit pinches up on the post, if that makes sense. Lewis just popped in.
So I was just going to say that Lewis, the Klondike craftsman, is in.
Yeah, hi Lewis. You haven't missed a lot, except a few dead woodworm flying around the workshop. And a hell of a lot of dust for me to clear up later.
As long as they're dead, that's the main thing.
I think they would be now.
Yeah.
But, so, if you've got any questions, guys, whack them in there, because there's not going to be any turning or finishing. That's the end of, unfortunately, a quick demo today, which didn't turn out so well. You can see the wormholes. You can see the thickness of the wood there, which is just over 1 mil thick, where it didn't quite mount up true. But there's so much worm. Not sure you can just about see it in the top of the picture, just underneath the green bag.
Yeah, we can. Right?
Yeah.
Lots of worm in there.
And there it is on the back. You can see it better on the back, right up around the top there. So it was a no-hoper, but you don't know that in wood. You think it's good. Well, it was to start with.
Yeah, not until you put the chisel on it.
Exactly, yeah. Yes, you open the holes. How do you deal with bowls full of wormholes that are worth finishing? If you think it's worth finishing, Flick, depending on the size of the wormholes, I mean, some of the wormholes are quite big. That one, for argument's sake, is 4 mil diameter, same as this one on the edge, and that track up through there. If it was just that size, there's another one there. If it was that size, I would possibly put in either a resin or sawdust that I've collected off the bandsaw, and then super glue it and jam it in and put some super glue in it. There's many ways you can do it. If you want to highlight them, you can use one of the Starbond, do a coloured thick super glue, I believe. I've used
the metal powders from Martin at one time. Put some of that in with a bit of super glue.
Metal powder, or I was just about to say you can use Milliput. That comes in 4 or 5 different colours. You can use car body filler in there. You can colour that with some of the mica colours. You can also colour it with brick dust colouring, cement colouring. So there's many different ways you can finish it. Turned a mango bowl the other day. That's full of wormholes and not sure whether to toss it or not. But only you can make that decision, Flick.
Yeah, exactly.
If you think it's going to be worthwhile and you can get something back from it, it might be worth saving it. If you can see no one buying it, it's good ground bait for the wood burner.
Yep. Hodgepodge has said he's used coffee grinds before to fill holes. Works as well. It does indeed.
Yeah. With coffee grounds, you need to make sure they're dry. That's the only thing I would say. Most coffee grounds come damp, and if you're trying to use super glue on them, the super glue will go off on the top, but not necessarily get right to the bottom of them. That's better. I'll come down to seat level.
Sit down.
Yeah.
Quite right.
Feel I reconsider. I did an OG shape, which is nice. But so many holes. Well, like I say, Flick, you make the decision on that one. I've made the decision on this one that it's just not worth salvaging. Because I didn't remount it brilliantly the second time. I didn't cut the tenon, the mortise, very well the second time when I remounted it. Should have checked it beforehand, but I know what I did. I went on the wrong mark because I think the C jaws that I've used now were a different set of jaws than when I originally turned it with 5 years ago. I believe they were on, what's the name of them? It was on a multi-star chuck, I believe, then. So the jaws were slightly different. I didn't check. My fault. Yeah, Chris says you can use resin. You can use anything. Something contrasting is quite good. If it's maggot holes, wormholes, sometimes the black is better, or a dark brown is better than a bright colour. Rob's got to go.
Right,
Thanks, Rob, for stopping by. So I'm happy to sit here for another quarter of an hour if you want me to, chatting. It's entirely up to you guys. I've got to go to the post office in a bit, but that doesn't open till 2. So there's no. I can hang on if necessary.
That'll be sandpaper for Mark then, is it?
It is. Yep.
Looking sandpaper yesterday.
Yeah, our post office only opens for 2.5 hours during the week, and that's on a Tuesday, 2 till 4:30.
There you go.
And I haven't been out at all. So, and over the weekend, there's not that many post offices around here that are open.
We have, well, I live miles out in the country too, and we have 2 post offices within sort of 5 miles that are open all day, every day, basically.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've shut so many here.
Both of these are just little corners in, like sort of a garage and a shop and a garage, you know.
Yeah. Well, this is just a little village shop, but I mean the counter or the cubicle for the post office is about 6 before.
Yeah.
She gets over and gets in there and bends over. She's got her ass stuck up against the wall, so there's no room to move in there for her.
No.
Bless her. But it's just frustrating. When we were used to have it open 5-6 days a week, 5.5 days a week.
Indeed.
They know best.
No, good.
They know best. Yeah.
Well, the bean counters know best.
Yep.
That's what happens.
Tons of inlines with all sorts of stuff on his wide YouTube channel. Yeah. So, any questions, guys? If not, I'm going to hit the button so that Brian can get back to sleep.
I go and see what's wrong with the other computer that I was trying to use.
Yeah. Well, this one had a hiccup just before you got here.
My wife has just My wife has just come to the window, or Michelle has just come to the window and stuck her tongue out. Thanks very much, Michelle. Go away.
Chris, the Amberley Museum was the first choice for the repair shop when they were looking at recording it, but the decision was made that as we only open 5 days a week, it wouldn't be a viable option. And at the time, I believe hierarchy said we can't run that because we need the barn for other things, but it is much the same. We are an industrial museum, whereas the Weald Downland is a buildings museum. They've salvaged buildings from, I think it's about 20-mile radius of where they are,
Yeah.
and rebuilt them to the original spec. So we're sort of the same, but we're both completely different.
We have one of those. It's called the Ulster Folk Museum, which takes buildings from. In fact, there's some buildings there from America now as well. So from people who moved from Ulster across to America.
Yeah,
They brought the original buildings back, and there's a whole site there now. It's quite a nice place to go visit.
yeah. We've got another one that's about 3/4 of an hour away, further north, the Rural Life Museum. Well, they've got much the same as what we've got and what Weald Downland have got, but they're more into the farming aspect. They've got their own woodyard there, which they cut their own timbers on, and they use all those timbers around the site, much the same as what we do at Amberley. Good thing with Amberley, we've just secured an 18 grand grant to completely overhaul and put the roof back on a woodyard crane, which I think someone was saying was built in 1908. Used to, from what I can gather, work in a dockyard somewhere, and then it was transferred to a woodyard, and then it was given to us or donated to us. It's gradually got worse and worse over the years because nothing has been spent on it. So we've had a big push to get some money together, and we've managed to get a grant for 18 grand, which should cover all the boiler work that's needed, as well as other bits and pieces like put a proper roof on it, because the proper roof was taken off so that work could be done, and now we can't find it. But we are going back 20 years. So it's been uncovered for basically 20 years, and structurally it's good. There are one or two wormholes in it that the dreaded rust has made.
Sounds a bit like your bowl today.
Yeah, yeah.
Lost for 20 years.
Exactly. So yeah, it's a nice place to work. I built a big workshop down there 8 years ago, which houses 9 wood turning lathes.
Excellent.
And that's where Scott and I spend quite a bit of time when we can down there demonstrating to the public. I usually do. I do most Sundays, not every Sunday. So Chris is saying, old Petrie Town, just up the road from him, much the same. Yeah, I think people now are looking at how can't say the West was won, but how everyone lived in the past. There's a lot of people that are interested in history, but there's also a lot that are not interested in it and just want to trash it. So it's one of those awkward ones as far as I can see. Local history is good, national history is good. That's the only reason we're here, is history. But they're finding reasons to destroy, take down bits and pieces now, which I disagree with.
People want to try and rewrite history when we don't really need to be rewriting it at all. We can't rewrite it. It's what it is.
History is history. Yeah,
we have to live with that.
Yeah. It's what's happened, and that's a recording of what's happened in the past.
Yep.
Let's put the past behind us and move forward. Flick's saying she's going to post some pictures on Facebook. Wood Turning International. Yeah, I'm a member of that, of the mango bowl with the holes in it. And then we can all give us some feedback. Quite happy to do that, Flick.
Good idea, Flick.
Yeah.
You should do that.
That's what this community is all about, as far as I'm concerned, sharing bits and pieces with others of how you do it, why you've done it. It might not necessarily been the right way, but what works for me possibly won't work for Brian or for yourself. We all work slightly different. So using a medium like Facebook and YouTube to show, discuss, talk about issues that we have is well worthwhile for me.
I think so too. I think it's a great community, and the sharing of knowledge is wonderful, guys. It's very few other things that I've been involved in are willing to share as readily as woodturners.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of Chris has put a post in there. We will all be history one day.
That's absolutely
Ben,
right, Chris.
yeah, and Ben's put underneath, we need to learn from history, not try to hide it. Well, that's right. I mean, if we went back to the beginning, there's a lot we can learn. We haven't hidden it. We've written about it. It's all readily available. Why should we go? Well, why should statues be pulled down because just today's youth and the do-gooders don't think it's right? Yeah. If you followed their ancestry back, probably most of them would have tie-ups with slavery or the likes. Don't get me going on this one because it it winds me up a bit. But history is history. Think about the future,
and should be treated as such.
Exactly. Yeah. Not trashed.
Good to reflect on, not to live in.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, guys. If you're all finished on questions, and I appreciate you stopping by and stopping with me today. I can say it wasn't a brilliant demo, but it was still a demonstration of how things can go wrong, don't turn out quite right. You can't read the instructions on the outside, which weren't there, and how you get over things. And you're all welcome to post on there exactly the same as I've done today, showing your failures, because a failure is a learning curve. Thanks, Chris. Spinning wood. I try and make them informative, and I try and keep them light-hearted. There's too much doom. Yeah, there's too much doom and gloom out there.
Yep, people are far too serious these days with everything.
Yeah,
lighten up a wee bit, I think.
You need to be serious on when you're standing at the lathe and there's a lump of wood flying around and you're poking a lump of metal at it. You need to be serious on that, but you can still have a light-hearted approach to it. So, thanks, Chris. You see, you're off. The other Chris is off. So,
thanks, guys. Thanks for popping in.
I'm going to say thank you very much. Thursday, Scott is on. Thursday evening, Scott is on.
Yep.
Next Tuesday, Andy is back. Andy H. He's down in Bridport. No, it isn't. Brixham. He's down in Brixham. He's got relations down there. Robbo's off. Cheers, Robbo. Thanks, mate, for stopping by. Cheers, appreciate your input and you guys coming over from the other end of the world. So, yeah, Flicks is away. Cheers, Flicks. Looks like Douglas is off. Thank you for another lesson. Well, they're all lessons to me as well as you, Douglas.
Learning for everybody. It's good.
Yep. We don't know it all. We might think we do. We learn from, I shouldn't have done that.
What did you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
What did you do?
From, yeah. Why did I do that?
Oops.
Yeah. Oops. Yes, I think I'll just go and change my trousers and I'll be okay.
Sometimes there's a blinding flash of the obvious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't do that.
Yeah. But if we can pass it on a bit, I'm happy to do that. Thanks, David. Cheers, Paul. Right, I'm going to hit the off button. So we're going to end it now then, Brian.
Okay, mate. No bother.
Cheers, guys.
Bye, everybody. Talk to you all later.